When he saw the shock on my face, his expression instantly softened, returning to that same gentle, familiar calm. He looked at me with concern. "Bebe, what exactly did Li Fang say to you?" "Whatever it was, don't believe him." The moment I heard that, my heart tightened. I stared straight into his eyes and asked quietly, "How did you know that was Li Fang?" "Joe." His eyelid twitched, just for a split second. Then he immediately explained, "I saw his face when I came in. I didn't expect that after all these years. He's still like a ghost that won't go away, still thinking about doing something to you." My heart trembled. I forced myself to stay calm, not letting anything show on my face, because I remembered it clearly. Before Joe, he kicked the door open, Li Fang had already put his hood back on. And that cloak was loose and oversized. There was no way he could have recognized him, just from his back. He was hiding something from me, without a doubt. Could it really be, just like Li Fang said, that the man I saw every day was only a mask, and that there was another side of him, one I had never known? The thought stabbed deep into my chest. In my heart, he had always been flawless, untouchable, perfect. But now, cracks were beginning to spread across that perfect image. He stepped forward and grabbed my hand. "I suspect Xiaoli and Chen Yang didn't kill themselves. They were murdered by Li Fang. Bebe, someone like that has his eyes on you now. You're in danger. Come home with me. I'll stay with you. We won't go anywhere." He was about to continue, but I cut him off. For the first time ever, I shook his hand away. "Joe He, how did you know I was here? How did you—" Joe He froze in place. His expression shifted again and again, before he finally let out a long sigh. "I'm sorry, Bebe. I put a tracking device on you." Even though I had been mentally prepared, hearing those words still felt like a heavy blow to the head. My mind went blank. I stared at him in disbelief. "Why?" "Joe." He lifted his head to look at me, his expression turning firm. "Bebe, at this point I won't hide anything from you anymore. About a month ago, I realized someone had been secretly watching us. I didn't want to scare you, so I investigated quietly and found out it was Li Fang. He was only lurking nearby, not doing anything outright, so I couldn't call the police. But I was afraid he might make a move on you, so I installed a hidden tracking app on your phone. Thankfully, I did. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it in time to save you today." There was still lingering fear on his face, his eyes filled with concern. Seeing him like that, half of the suspicion in my heart melted away, because I believed the feelings in his eyes toward me couldn't be faked. "Joe." He pulled me into his arms and continued. "When I found out that Xiaoli killed herself the same night after hearing that story, I already had a rough guess. It was probably Li Fang. You know this too. Aside from me, the person Li Fang hated most was Xiaoli. If she hadn't stopped him back then, when he tried to assault you, if she hadn't called me, things might have turned out very differently between us. So he killed Xiaoli and staged it as a suicide." I frowned, voicing my doubt. But the security footage clearly shows Xiaoli jumping. And before she died, she called me. "Joe." He shook his head. "Bebe, with how advanced AI is now, it's not hard to fabricate a video of Xiaoli acting unstable and jumping, then swap it into the surveillance system. As for using voice cloning software to call you in her voice, that's even easier." I thought about it. With current AI technology, it really was possible to create something almost indistinguishable from reality. So I bit my lip and asked again, But even if Li Fang killed her, why go through the trouble of making that call to me? Joe. He let out a cold scoff. That's the cunning part. Using Xiaoli's voice to say those words served two purposes. First, it makes everyone believe Xiaoli committed suicide because of that horror story. That way, no one would bother questioning the authenticity of the surveillance footage. Second, it was meant to provoke your curiosity, to lure you back to that stall, so he could get close to you. You know we're not like Xiaoli. We live in a secure, high-end residential area. He wouldn't have many chances to approach you there. And you rarely go out, so the only way was to draw you out. I murmured, a little dazed. But I didn't go. I told Chen Yang instead. Chen Yang must have discovered something. That's why he was killed too. If both her best friend and fiancé died because of that story, of course I would want to investigate the truth. Joe. He gently stroked my hair. Bei, Xiaoli and Chen Yang's deaths are not your fault. What matters now is finding Li Fang, bringing him to justice, and avenging them. This place isn't safe. Let's leave first. We'll figure out the rest later. I nodded and followed him into the car. But along the way, as I carefully replayed everything that had just happened, the seed of doubt in my heart began to grow again. When I saw Li Fang earlier, I had felt an intense disgust. But when I tried to recall the things he had done to me, I couldn't remember any details. And during that brief time we were together just now, I could clearly feel that he had no intention of harming me. More importantly, I still couldn't recall any concrete details from my time with Zhou He either. What was really going on? After we got home, Zhou He made a call. Soon, a large pile of groceries was delivered to the house. Bei, I've already handed over all my work at the company. For the next 3 days, we'll stay inside. Don't go out. After 3 days, Li Fang will never come back to bother us again. After we got home, Zhou He made a call. Soon, a large pile of groceries was delivered to the house. Bei, I've already handed over all my work at the company. For the next 3 days, we'll stay inside. Don't go out. After 3 days, Li Fang will never come back to bother us again. The certainty in his voice felt strange. Why was he so sure that after 3 days, Li Fang would disappear? I asked him directly. But Zhou. He brushed it off casually, avoiding the question. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 3 days were gone. On the night of the 3rd day, Zhou He and I sat on the sofa watching TV. He glanced at the clock, a look of relief appearing on his face. It's already 10:30 p.m. In another hour and a half, no one will be able to ruin our happy life anymore. Hearing that, something suddenly came to mind. I couldn't help but ask, Honey, do you remember when we were dating in high school? Tell me about it. I feel like I've forgotten. Unexpectedly, the moment I finished speaking, Zhou. His expression changed instantly. He let out a stiff laugh, forcing a smile. Why are you suddenly asking about that? It's been too long. I don't remember either. I wasn't satisfied. I pressed on. Then tell me about college. Where did we go on our first trip together? Zhou. He smiled, looking at me gently. Silly. Of course it was Xinjiang, the place you always wanted to go. We went in the summer of our freshman year. You even complained about your ears hurting on the plane. Fragments of memory slowly surfaced. I did remember that in my first year of college I went to Xinjiang with Zhou He. But for some reason, my heart suddenly skipped a beat, because I realized something. Neither Zhou He nor I came from wealthy families. And during peak summer season, plane tickets to Xinjiang were extremely expensive. On top of travel expenses for 2 people, it would have been a huge amount of money. Where did we get it from? Part-time jobs? But when I tried to recall the details, there was nothing. Not only that, a dull pain began to throb in my head. Just as I was about to keep questioning Johei, his expression suddenly darkened. He stared at his phone, then abruptly stood up. I caught a glimpse of the screen. It was a surveillance app. On it, in the stairwell outside our apartment, stood a figure in a black cloak. Li Fang had come,